If you want to save money on your trading card purchases, we have a promo link over at 50cards.shop. Enter the promo code ATNIGHT to get 5% off your order. Hey everybody, welcome to Nexus at Night, your weekly Vanguard podcast in places where we shouldn't be. I'm Atlas.
I'm Rupier. This podcast definitely never skips weeks.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I'm not going to pretend things that don't happen. If you're wondering where Matt is, he might just show up out of nowhere. Like,
he's in a fighting game tournament right now. Unfortunately, he's in the finals, which means he can't be here.
I mean, props to him. He was like, hey, going to be late, which I really hate when people like my sister just show up late. And she's like, yeah, I knew I was going to be like 45 minutes late. I just didn't tell you because fuck you. Anyway, yeah, we're doing a set review for
Lyrical Monasterio, because Atlas decided to skip out last week, so this is my punishment.
I hate you so much. And I hate that they, like, I thought we were done with this or something, but guess not.
Nope. Lyrical was put into the main sets, but it seems like they're just continuing the old pattern for the, like, off-season, so DZ3, which is, like, the set with all the Craycross and Encounter cards, did not have Lyrical in it, like the first two main sets, and then, you know, we're going back to it being in the main set for set 4, but in the meantime, we're just getting another Lyrical set, because there's too many goddamn ride lines.
All right, then. So why don't we get into this, because I hate it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, when you're ready, we're just going to switch off.
Yeah, and
you're going to have to explain everything, though, because I have not been paying attention to Lyrical. If it's pink, my mind goes dark.
Well, some of these might be meta, so you might have to pay attention to them.
Yeah.
See, I understand, like, turning your brain off for collab decks, because we, like, might not get them stateside, or if we do, they're, like, very late. But, like, you probably do need to pay attention to Lyrical, because it is just, like, a normal nation.
Yeah.
Especially now that it's in the main sets.
I'm not going to pretend it's not a normal nation, but it just kind of all blurs together in my mind. Sorry. It's just maybe it's the sexist part of me or something. But yeah, you're going first, right?
Yeah. Anyways, if you haven't seen this before, what we do is we go to the triple R's all the way down to the double R's, and then any interesting rares or commons, but there's too many goddamn rares and commons, and I'm not going through all of them.
I was going to say that's your job if it's any rares and commons that interest you. Go for it.
Yeah. So anyways, we have Absolute Zero Sagita. So this is the new ride line, the cover card of the set. It is a grade 3. Has the ability that all of your and your opponent's units get the continuous ability, Vanguard, Rearguard, Circle. If it's the 4th battle of this turn or more when this unit would attack, it cannot attack unless you discard a card from your hand.
That's interesting.
Act, you can Energy Blast 4, it gets 10k in a drive. And then Auto, when your card is discarded from hand by a card's ability, any card, you can Counterblast 1 and draw a card.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so this is just like Honolly as a grade 3,
yes.
sort of.
No, that's worse than Honolly, because countercharges can be
debatable.
You know, countercharges are easier to make up compared to just losing those cards. Hang on. The other thing is that this is your Vanguard. You can't retire the Vanguard.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Like, having the Counterblast extra for Honolly can interrupt your combos. Like, discarding a card from your hand, like, oftentimes, unless you're already very low on hand size and, like, need to call cards from your hand or something, probably does not disrupt your combo, so there are going to be cases where, like, your opponent's just going to kill you anyways.
Good point. There is something to that. I still think that's pretty cool. Design.
Yeah, no, I think this is interesting, and as long as we're here, I'm just going to go through the rest of the ride line.
Go for it.
0. And I'm going to do the smart thing and just Control F the other two cards.
Yeah.
So when this is from upon by a grade 3 with absolute 0, you can choose the grade from 1 from your soul, call that card to rearguard circle. And then when it attacks a Vanguard, if you have a grade 3 or greater absolute 0 on this card name, it gets 5k until end of battle. And at the end of battle, retire it to draw a card. You're probably not playing more than one of this. Anyways, the grade 1 is like when it's placed from writing but on top of the grade 0, you look at the top 7, choose an absolute 0 or a Judge Maiden in its card name, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle the deck. And then if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with absolute 0 and your opponent's at grade 3, discard a card from hand, and then this unit gets continuous. All of your front row rear guards get power plus 5,000 until end of turn.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, it might be worth just going over all the Judge Maiden cards now since Sagita is a new card.
Fine.
Like I think that I just think that like makes more sense, right?
No,
Because,
I get it. Just I've been playing
about an
Edison
archetype.
with my friend Dan all week, so absolute 0 makes me think of the elemental hero, which is a little
Yeah.
different.
So one of these is a triple R, which means we get to skip it later. But like, so this one is Peaceful Sky Judge Maiden Alha. So it's a grade 2. When it's discarded from your hand during your turn, if you have Vanguard with absolute 0, you countercharge 1.
Energy charge.
Or energy charge 1, yeah.
Yeah.
When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with absolute 0 attacks, if you do not have a unit with the same name as this, you can call it to rearguard circle.
Not
And
bad.
then when it attacks, if you have a grade 3 or greater with absolute 0, it gets 10k. So this is the thing you're going to be discarding with Sagita or this most likely.
Crowd.
So you get like the energy charge for that, and then you also it gets 10k, so it's a 20k beater, and then most importantly, it is like your 4th attack, which means you play into your own floodgate, which is funny.
Yeah.
But like, Sagita just draws you back a card.
Right.
So this is like the best card in the deck because it like gets you like all of your pressure and kind of helps you like minus a little bit less for all of your discard costs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We have Light Spinning Around the Flower Garden, Judge Maiden Larinia.
That's a big name.
Yeah. So when it's placed, if you have an absolute 0 Vanguard, you can counterblast 1, search top 5 for an absolute 0 or Judge Maiden, put it into your hand shuffle, and then if it attacks a grade 3 or greater, it gets 5k. Like, this is fine. Helps to make up some advantage. So the thing about the absolute 0 deck is like the grade 1 Crow is discarding a card, and then you're probably playing into your own floodgate with the grade 2, which means like you're probably going to be losing a little bit of card advantage yourself. So this kind of helps you to make up for it. This one is a rare, so if it's discarded, you can put it into your soul. Another way to just kind of get value off of discarding, and then if you have Vanguard with absolute 0, it gets 5k shield.
Okay.
Which is like okay.
Not bad.
Yeah. This one is like at the end of the battle attacks, if you have an absolute 0, retire it, choose one of your opponent's grade 2 or less rear guards and retire it. So you're kind of going 1-for-1 with your opponent here.
Okay. Wait, go back up. It's Poor and Restlessly Judge Maiden Mariel's. This is just for the people who are listening on audio. Because when you say this one, people are like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, properly
Yeah.
and Restless Judge Maiden. Yeah. So it's a grade 3. This one's okay. Like, this is one of the ones where I feel like retiring itself means like this deck ends up minusing a lot. It is technically making room for the grade 2 that revives itself, but that's not great. And then finally, Shawl of Relaxation Judge Maiden Kernul. So when it's discarded, if you have an absolute 0 Vanguard, you choose one of your rear guards, it gets 5k. Drink.
I don't have I finished my beverage, so.
Yeah, so I figure it's worthwhile just going over the full archetype. Like, I think Sagita is a really interesting card in and of itself. Like, it is technically generic, which means you can just kind of play, like, lyrical good stuff with her as a grade 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think the only Judge Maiden card that's, like, required is Alha, the one that revives itself. The rest of them, you can probably just make up with the good stuff pile.
And Lyrical does have a pile of good stuff.
Yes, it
too.
does.
More so than most nations. So moving on to Aurora Star Coral.
Encounter cards. Yay!
Big boobs abound. Grade 3. So continuous on Van, all of your other units with Coral, there it is. Get shield plus 5k, no drink, it's shield. Act on Van once per turn, you put a card from your hand into your soul and draw. If you put a card with Coral in its card name, this gets red text, auto. On Van, at the end of the battle that this unit attacks, choose one of your rear guards and stand it until end of turn. Auto on Van, at the end of the battle phase, you can Energy Blast 4, and all of your front row units get plus 5k drink for until end of turn for every 2 cards with Coral in their card names in Soul. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 1 crit until end of turn.
So yes. Another technically generic, except for the fact that you're going to be playing like 12 Corals in your deck.
Yeah, this is generic in the sense that if you don't do Coral, you're missing out.
Yeah. No,
Hard.
like you have to be playing the other Corals, but like the rest of the support cards around it can be generic. And I'm too lazy to find all of the dedicated support cards for this one because they don't have a convenient name like the Judge Maidens.
Right.
But we will talk about the other 2 Corals, so we can kind of talk about the deck as a whole.
Okay.
So Coral has like auto on Vanguard Circle. When it attacks, you can choose one of your rear guards and return it to your hand. And then when this card is put into the soul by the ability of your grade 3 or greater Coral, draw a card, energy charge, and then choose one of your rear guards and it gets power plus 5,000 till end of turn, drink. This is probably not the Coral that is relevant, although you will probably play it simply because it has Coral in its name. And then we have Fresh Star Coral, the grade 1. So when it's ready to opponent by the grade 2, look at top 7, choose a card with Coral in its name, or up to 1 grade 3 unit card, and reveal it, put it into your hand shuffle. And then when it's put into your soul by the ability of your grade 3 or greater Coral, give your Vanguard power plus 5,000, and then if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, it also gets triple drive.
Okay. That's definitely interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, the basic gist of it is that you're going to be shoving Corals into your soul, and then you're going to get a crit and a drive if your opponent is at grade 3.
Okay, if we weren't a kid show before, shoving Corals into your soul definitely sounds like something.
Please do not mark us as 4Kids YouTube. I want to monetize this channel eventually.
Oh no, when you're uploading, it says, is it for
Yeah,
kids
I know,
or is it not for kids?
But sometimes they will just do it themselves anyways.
Yeah.
Because YouTube is very intelligent.
Yeah, if you put all of the F-bombs in a box, that box would be exploding, and mostly because of me. So
yeah. So yeah, like basic gist of this deck is like 4 attacks. You can probably get 10k very easily. Obviously, you're just gonna start with 3 Corals in your soul from your ride line.
Right.
And then, like, once you activate the ability, that's the 4th one. So you're gonna get 10k to your front row, which is pretty good. You know, Persona Ride is very strong, so just like having Persona Ride power turn 3 is really nice.
Yes.
And then it's like generic enough that you can just play like lyrical good stuff, though obviously we'll cover some of her dedicated support after this.
Mm-hmm. All right. Who's next?
Go all the way back up. Next up, your favorite card, Mediel. Maybe you should read this one too.
Do you want me to?
Yes.
Okay, fine. If that's how it's gonna be. All right. Constellate Solace Mediel is a grade 3 for people wondering why is he looking down. I have it on my phone. So, dress up with Fondant Solace Mediel. During this fight, this card is also regarded as the specified card. So, very easy way to just add that. Continuous on Van. During your turn, if your drop has a grade 3 card with Mediel in its card name, all of your front row units get power plus 5k. And then act on Van once per turn. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Choose a card from your drop, call it to rear, and reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a normal unit, draw, and if the unit called by this effect gets crit plus 1 until end of turn.
So, compared to the old Mediel, it is no longer like dependent on getting a trigger unit. It's also got a different cost now instead of Counterblast 2.
Yes, which is
so. It also gives you an additional draw compared to the original one, I think. Yeah. So yeah, this is
Yeah.
just the original one, but better.
Yeah, I mean
Basically.
like you always get the call, but you don't always get
Hmm.
um the draw.
Yeah. So this is basically the same as the old Mediel. You already had a couple of cards that could help you stack the deck.
Yeah.
And then obviously there is one of the rear guards that like is a restander. So if you can just like call it back and give it a crit, then you just have a crit restander.
Yeah. That's good.
And I think Mediel got a card at some point that allows you to like double her effect, so you can call two things.
I think so, if I'm not mistaken.
I will be forcing this deck onto Atlas, by the way.
I hate you so much. Let's see. List of medial support. Is it Lacrima? I think it's no, not Lacrima. I don't know. I'll figure it out later.
Yeah, this is the one that,
Moving on. I'm just gonna do the one after, so we keep the rhythm.
Yep, go for it.
Glistening Mood Michu. So I think this is the Cannonball one, right?
Yep.
Okay, so grade 3, 13K. When this unit is placed by riding from first to head toward the Dream Michu, search your deck or drop for up to one card with Nokno, Noqno. Did I pronounce that right?
I'm gonna say it's Nokno, but like whatever. That's
Nokno.
close enough.
And its card name or up to one Cannonball card. Reveal it, put it into your hand if you search the deck shuffle, and then activate Persona Ride. And then act on Vanguard once per turn. Cost, bind a first to head toward the Dream Michu from Soul. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards. Retire it, and until end of turn, reduce the cost of this unit's Cannonball ability by Soul Blast 2. At the end of that turn, if this unit is your Vanguard, ride the card bound for this card as rested. Cannonball. Auto. Vanguard. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, Soul Blast 2, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, retire it, and this unit gets plus 10k till into battle. And then it's a glitter. So
Yeah. So, unlike the other dress ups where they count as the original, this one is following the model of all of the glitter cross rides where you like bind the original one to get an effect, and then you just like activate Persona Ride when you ride this one.
that's
So,
cool.
compared to the original Michu, like the cannonball is slightly bigger. It's 10k instead of 5 now. It just searches you like either Nokuno or a cannonball like on play, so you don't have to like pay the counterblast anymore. And then now the retire is like guaranteed because you have it from the bind effect. Because if you use one of the cannonballs, so like the Sneeze of Fireworks is a stun card where it just like stops your opponent from like restanding one of their rear guards, and you can give something 10k, or the Flower Cannonball where you just give 3 units 10k.
Not bad.
So the thing with the original Nokuno was that she like swapped positions with Michu, so it was a restanding Vanguard. And
Okay.
so yeah, like the point has always to like buff up the Nokuno, and then like you're able to search it. Plus, there's going to be a new Nokuno that we cover later.
Sweet.
Like Michu is one of those decks that I always like. Everyone keeps saying that Michu is good, and then every time I've either played with or against it, I have not been impressed.
Do you think this is the X factor to kind of break it into good, or what?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I see people on Twitter saying that the new one is like good, although you do risk decking out more because of how the new Nokuno works.
Right.
And like this particular Michu doesn't read that much differently from the original one.
Mm-hmm.
Like the main thing is just now you have a guaranteed retire, which is nice. And then like the cannonball part of it is effectively the same card.
Right. Okay.
It's just now you can do it for free.
The second wave of support being okay, so it's a moderately good effect that you can now do for free. Doesn't most of the time it doesn't end up being the okay, this deck is good now. It's just like what it should have been from the get go.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, like Michu is weird. Again, like I've not been particularly impressed by Michu in the past. I still feel like it's going to be one of those decks that everyone keeps telling me is good, but probably isn't. We'll see. Like the thing I've heard about the new one, because the deck lists I've seen people posting are like you max out on Nokunos, you play like the one grade 1 that lets you like re-ride like all of the promos that the other glitters got, except they actually put it into the set as a rare, which means, promos are bullshit, but we already knew that. And then like the rest of the deck is just all orders, and I'm looking at that like, are we sure that this is the list? I don't know. Like every time I look at Michu, I'm just like, is this what we're doing with the deck?
I don't know if Michiu has the same kind of like devoted contingent the way Zorga does.
Yeah,
for
but like
example.
Zorga is good. I think it's at least tier 2.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it. Here, I found the Michu card that like lets you re-ride. So once placed, if you have all set up, which is like the set order, because she's like sort of a Brant Gate card where she has like a set order that lets you do everything, but like they're too lazy to actually make a dual nation card that's also a Brant Gate. But anyways, you can like look at top 7 for a cannonball, and then if you have a grade 3 Michu, you can put this unit into Soul, get the other Michu, ride it as stand, and then if your Vanguard was placed during the ride phase or you Persona Road already, you cannot Persona Ride.
Okay.
So yeah, the same grade 1 that all the other glitters got, except they just made it a rare.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
They should do that more.
Waiting for this day, Referica, for people who are listening. So what's next?
Next up, we have Phosphorescent Stream Hazoret. So it is a dress up where it counts as the original Hazoret. Act once per turn, Energy Blast 3, choose up to 5 of your normal units to get. At the end of battle, it attacks, draw a card, put it to the bottom of the deck, and power plus 2000. So same ability as the old Hazoret, except it's Energy Blast instead of Counter Blast now. Okay. And then at the beginning of your battle phase, you Soul Blast 1. All of your units with Hazoret in their card names, all of your grade 3s with original power 12,000 or less, grade 2s with original power 9,000 or less, or grade 1 with original power 7,000 or less can attack from the back row center column and get power plus 5,000.
Okay.
Yeah. So Hazoret's thing has always been like units with less than standard power. Usually they go 2k less, so when you get the 2k from Hazoret's first ability, it goes back up to being a normal number.
Yeah.
So,
but...
and then, you're just giving everything like 5k, and then they can attack from the back row, center column.
So Magnolia, but shittier?
Yeah. So this deck just now has an extra attack built into it, where the original Hazoret did not. Like, it only gets 5k instead of 10 now, but, like, you give power to everything. I actually think the new Hazoret is actually going to be a pretty decent deck.
Oh. Hot take.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think I always thought Hazoret was decent back when the original one came out. I brought it to BCS and then scrubbed out terribly with it, but I think that was just me, not the deck. Like, I think the deck itself was fine. People just didn't see it. I think the new Hazoret is actually, like, really strong, and we'll see it with some of the support cards. But, like, 4 attacks guaranteed, and the important thing is that none of her abilities are grade locked.
Good point.
So,
there's something to that, but
also, like, you get also like putting to deck and then, or drawing a card and then you put it to the bottom of the deck. Like, that's not a cost. You can just cheese that. Like, if you have something like Eureka that puts your unit back into the hand, you just draw a card.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, like, I actually think Hazoret is going to be a good deck. I'm definitely not coping right now.
It's interesting being on the other end of the cope train. That's all I'm going to say to that.
Anyways, we're gonna have to rearrange the next one because for some reason they put one of Lilfa's support cards above her in the set order for some stupid reason. We need to read the new Lilfa first so we can have context on what the other cards are doing.
Okay, I guess I'll do Lilfa and then swap it.
Mm-hmm.
Because brightest streamer Lilfa, grade 3, dress up as it is for all intents and purposes. Highest streamer Lilfa. Continuous on Van. All of your grade 2 or greater rear guards get boost, and all of your grade 3 all of your other grade 3 units with Lilfa in their card name get shield plus 20. Okay. Auto Unvan, when this unit attacks, if all of your units are grade 2 or greater, Counterblast 1, choose up to 3 of your rear guards and return them to hand. And then choose up to 2 grade 3 cards from your hand and call them to rear in the same column.
This card is infinitely better than
That
the
is
old Lilfa.
that is good. Yeah.
Like, let's just look at the old Lilfa really quickly, just to compare and contrast. So, the old Lilfa, you have to Soul Blast to give all of your units boost. So already, the new one is better, because they just get it automatically.
Yep.
But the big thing with the other one, and see if you can spot the problem, at the end of battle this unit attack, if your back row has 3 or more grade 2 rear guards, or grade 2 or greater rear guards, then you can counterblast 1 to bounce a front and back row rear guard to your hand. And then if you return 2 units, you choose 1 grade 3 from your hand and call it to an open rear guard circle.
Not only did they like straight improve the effects like on an offensive spectrum, but giving everything 20k shield.
Just Lilfas.
Oh, just Lilfas. Still very good.
Yeah, but no. The big difference between like the original one and this one is this fucking line of text.
Yeah, that is a huge difference.
Like, that is disastrous. Like, if your opponent can interact with your deck in like any meaningful way, you just like lose immediately because the deck stops working. So the fact that it's now just if all your units are grade 2 or greater, which just deck build correctly, then it just like works, which means removal is not just like game ending anymore.
Yes.
So yeah, this new Lilfa is like infinitely better than the old one.
Yeah.
Honestly, like potentially meta. I haven't actually like started theory crafting for this one yet, but I want to. You know, I like cards that bounce to hand. Lilfa was a deck that I was always interested in, but the old one was so disastrously bad that I could never bring myself to actually play the deck.
Well,
Like,
now
I think,
you can.
yeah, like old Lilfa is in contention for like one of the worst decks in the game's history, or at least in the format's history for D.
It's big words. Go for it.
I think it's true.
Anyways, no, I agree with you, but just like that's a mighty accusation to put out there.
Like, especially on release, I think like old Lilfa is definitely like a bottom 3 deck.
What, like the Silhouette Man?
Fucking. I think Silhouette wasn't that bad. Honestly, I
thought it was that bad. I have it. I think it's that bad. We'll see how the drill shakes out, but we already had that argument. Go ahead.
Anyways. We have Frolic Hopper Funet. So this is a grade 3. It's designed to support Lilfa, which is why we had to go and read Lilfa first, because this is before it in the set order for some reason. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Lilfa in its card name, it gets power and shield plus 10,000 active on both turns.
Cool.
And then, if at the end of the battle this attacked while boosted by a grade 2 or greater unit, you can Energy Blast 3, choose one of your grade 2 or greater rear guards, return it to hand. So, this is like fine, right? Like, it's helping you dodge removal. The old Lilfa already bounces back more things than you're calling to the board, so the fact that this can bounce another thing back is nice.
Yeah, and with energy to boot. So no losing soul or counterblast. Auto regenerates, always good.
Yeah, and like Lilfa soul blasts a lot because a lot of the cards are like soul blast 2 to draw a card or something.
Right.
Anyways, I'm stealing the next one from you.
Fine, go for it.
So we have Prism Image Vert. So another encounter ride line. And really dumb that this card does not work with Labrador, but we'll have that conversation later. Act Vanguard Circle once per turn. If you did not ride with a card's ability this turn, Soul Blast 1, choose up to 1 card from your hand with the same card name as this unit. Ride it as stand. If you rode a card, draw, choose one of your Vanguards and gets power plus 10,000. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, it gets continuous. All of your front row units get power plus 10,000 instead of just the power 10,000 to itself.
So it's Persona Ride without actually doing Persona Ride. That's funny.
Yes. And then when attacking Counterblast 1, bounce a rearguard to hand, choose a grade 3 or less card from your hand, call it to rearguard circle.
Seems pretty simple.
Yeah. So this card is, like, fine, right? Like, the thing with the original Vert is that she was a break ride. So, like, the act ability is trying to, like, emulate the idea of brake riding, right? Where you get, but now they're putting in the context of persona ride, air quotes.
Yes.
So, like, thematically, that is interesting. It's really stupid that this doesn't work with Labrador. They just, like, printed a different Prism archetype. So we just have, like, two Prism decks that are completely different from each other. And they, like, do not interact with each other at all, which is, like, super annoying. I hate it so much, especially because we go back to, like, Dazzling Divas, the original set. They're in the same goddamn set. They're designed to work together, right? Like, the original, the original Labrador is, like, when it attacks, you choose 3 cards with Prism in your name from their hand, call them to open rearguard circle, and then she gets 10k in a crit. But the thing is, like, you don't, none of the Prism cards, like, bounce themselves at this point in time, so what you're supposed to do is you, like, break ride on top of Vert, where if you break ride on top of her, you draw a card, then bounce 2 of your Bermuda Triangle rearguards to your hand. So you use Vert to clear the board, and then you attack with Labrador, call 3, and get the 10k in a crit. Like, they're designed to work together, so it's really stupid that this is just a different archetype for no reason.
This kind of reminds me of when they brought back Leopold to V, and we're just like, yeah, it's it's milling now, and that's it. It doesn't really work with with the rest.
Don't even get me started on V Prisms. I hate V Prisms so much.
Yeah.
Yes, I like Vert. Like, Sunshine Vert is one of my favorite cards of all time. So, like, I do like the concept of this, of being, like, the double persona ride, because people are going to get semantic about it.
Prism Sona? That's the best guess I have.
But, like, I like the concept of the persona ride, in quotes, and then, you know, as a generic ability, it's, like, fine, right? There are some generic cards that allow you to make, like, a 5th attack by minusing a bunch. And, again, Lyrical has a very strong generic package. So, like, this deck will function. It's just really annoying that it's not a Prism deck.
Well, how about making a wish that it gets better? Like, make a wish Kyoka.
Kyoka.
Kyoka? All right. Grade 3, 13k. Dress up as Make a Trend, Kyoka. Continuous on Van during your turn. If you played a magazine order this turn, all of your front row gets plus 5k. And if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, all of your units with Kyoka in their card names can attack from the back row center and get plus 5k. Act on Van once per turn. Cost, you can Soul Blast or Soul Blast 1 or Energy Blast 2. Sorry. Choose a grade from 1 to 3. Declare it. Look at the top 5 cards of the deck. Choose up to 1 unit with the declared grade and up to 1 magazine card each from among them. Reveal them into your hand and shuffle.
This might be the best card out of the set.
That's very good.
Yeah. No, so here's the thing, right? Like, the magazine, like, Lyrical Shooting Stars, one of the abilities is that you choose one of your units and it gets power plus 10,000 until end of turn. So one of the problems I had with Hazaret while I was, like, theory crafting it is that it's hard to get the back row unit to get enough power to be relevant.
Right.
Because you're only getting, like, the plus 7, but it's, like, effectively plus 5 because it has to be a lower power unit.
Right.
So, you know, I was, like, looking through all cards and it's like, okay, well, the highest that you get is, like, plus 10k naturally. Nothing really gets plus 15 that's also, like, a low powered unit. So,
right.
Like, you, after all of the boosts, you end up being, like, 26, 27, which is not a good enough number because it doesn't hit over a 15k shield.
Right.
But the thing is with this is that you can just...
Surprise, motherfucker!
Yeah, like, you can just play, like, the old Kyoko, right? Like, the original one as just, like, a vanilla beat stick, and then give it 10k off of Lyrical Shooting Stars. So now that's 28.
Okay, that's numbers.
Yeah. But
Not
also, there are generic cards that bounce, like Franquette, which you're already playing in Kyoka if you watch my deck profile, which no one did.
Jeez.
I'm
bully them more, why don't you?
I'm going to be fake salty about it, but, like, Franquette is a card that just, like, generically bounces back, right? So you could also, theoretically, just play this Kyoka and then just bounce it back with Franquette, assuming you drew Franquette. And then there's like a second magazine order that revives things from the drop zone. So you choose 2 normal units with different grades and grade less than or equal to your Vanguard and call them. And then if you have like one of each grade 1, 2, and 3, then you can play the original Lyrical Shooting Stars. So like there's a lot of tools for Kyoka to like make a board, gain power. She has a restanding rear guard as well. So like you're going to make anywhere from 4 to 6 attacks. The numbers are going to be pretty good because Lyrical Shooting Stars gives 10k, and then she's giving 5k to the front row. A lot of their support cards also gain power on their own. I think this deck is crazy.
What number are you calling off the second effect?
I mean, it just depends on what you need.
Okay.
There's a grade 1 that also counts as a magazine card, so you can like add that, but really it's just like whatever you need at the given time.
That's cool.
So if you're like missing a grade 2, you call grade 2. And then, you know, because you're also going to be able to add a magazine anyways, like it's very hard to whiff on this.
Gotcha. Matt, how are you?
Hello. Inception for a little bit as I go back to.
I apologize for my lateness. I thought it started at 7:30, so we would have been done by 10.
Gotcha.
Then it was 8:30. I was lied to.
I see.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. How did it go for you?
I lost in the finals.
Oh, but you made it to the finals. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So we're talking about lyrical stuff. You came in just in time as we were discussing Kyoka.
Yeah. But so your turn then.
Are we gonna make Matt read the new card?
Oh God, this one. You got to scroll down though, because I don't have the side open. So we got Rive Etoile Lutetia. So it has a dress up on Guamora Etoile Lutetia, whatever that card does. This card can only be written from grade 3. Yeah. When this unit is placed on van, search your deck for up to 1 cursed play card, reveal it and put it in your hand. If you search the deck, shuffle, of course. Act on van, counter +1. This unit gets all of the following until end of turn, according to the number of cursed play cards in your soul. So 2 or more, your front row gets 10k. 4 or more, at the end of the battle, attacked, you can discard a card, stand it, gets drive on 1. And 6 or more, its drive cannot be reduced by its unit's effect.
So they just made a dope for Lutetia.
How easy is it to get this many in soul?
Not that hard. I played against Lutetia not that long ago during like the most recent Vanguard day. They definitely had like 6 in soul by turn 3.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know if it was like 6, but they definitely had the 4 for the restand on the original one. So the original one's just like every time you play a normal order, it gets 5k, and then 2 or more, and then the same thing, you attack like based on the number of curse plays. So 2 or more, you get 5k power and draw a card, and then 4 or more, you discard to restand it. It gets drive -1. So the first 2 effects are effectively the same. The 2 effect is better because it's now all front row units instead. They get the 10k instead of just like itself.
Okay.
And then second ability is literally the same, and then they added on the ability that his drive cannot be reduced. Notably, this card can only be written from a grade 3, which means you have to play the original one still.
Damn it. The Dragon Trade Conundrum. Always a good time.
Yeah.
Or, So you have to put the original one in your ride deck and then just play 4 of this one, right?
Yeah, so this just replaces your Persona ride effectively. That is an interesting one. Like, I don't know if this, like, definitively changes the deck in any meaningful way, because it's just like, okay, now your Persona ride is the same card, but better. So, like, your early game is still exactly the same, but when I played against it, because I think one of the curse play cards, like, revives a rear guard. Let me see. Is this the Blitz? This is the Blitz order. Also, it has a Blitz order.
Any lyrical fans out there who think we're getting this wrong, please let us know in the comments, because...
No, like, there is a Lutetia guy at our locals. I have a decent idea of how the deck is. Like, yeah, because this one can call something from your soul and give it plus 5k.
And so I assume they all throw themselves in soul, but like the real game is to find other ways to shove them in soul instead of playing them, right?
Yeah, and then like this one, like you can call something from drop, or put something in. If you're choose a card from your soul and put it into your hand, and then if your soul has 2 or more, you can choose a card from your drop and put it into soul. So yeah, like you have a lot of ways to plus in the early game because the curse plays are like grade 1s. You can play them really quickly.
Okay.
I believe when I was playing against them, like they were able to just get like 4 curse plays by turn 3, which means like getting to 6 by turn 4 is easy because one of the curse plays is a blitz order. And you probably have ways to cheat it out. I don't remember them off the top of my head because I don't play the deck personally, but I know when I was playing against it that they did just turbo the curse plays really quickly.
Well,
and like it has the tools for early gaming.
That's good.
All right, so we've covered all of the dress up, so now we get to talk about all of the triple R support cards.
Great. Is
we're
it
on
me or you or?
Let's just start from the top with you.
Okay, Luminous Melanie Ilnacia. Hoping for the best here. Grade 3, auto on rear when this unit attacks. If your soul has 4 or more cards with Coral, there it is. In their card names, you can counterblast 1, draw, and this unit gets plus 5k till end of battle. There it is, drink. Auto on rear, at the end of your turn, if your soul has 4 or more cards with Coral in their card names, Soul Blast 1 and bounce this unit.
Like, this card is, like, fine. I don't know. When I was testing Coral, I feel like I didn't need this card.
It does not scream triple R to me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's bad, just kind of whatever.
So, like, I
this
think...
is triple R?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the double R Coral supports, like, puts a Coral from drop zone back into your hand. So, like, probably in order to, like, maintain your cycle of being able to put the Coral you want into your soul with Coral's ability, you're probably going to need some way to, like, Soul Blast one of them so you can recycle it. But the thing is, like, you can just play Yuika. Play Yuika.
Yeah. And just by guarding and stuff. Like, playing the game.
Well, no, because you need to have the Coral in your hand, right? So, like, the most effective way is to, like... the most effective way to curate your hand is just, like, recycle the ones already in your soul.
Okay.
But, like, just play Yuika. One of these days, there's going to be a video on the channel that's called I Can't Stop Putting Yuika into My Decks.
Hey, if it's generic and good,
Yeah.
who's to say? Go for it.
Give me 1 second. I'll check out a text from my mom. Okay, anyways. After that, making sure. Yep, we have Star Song Prayer Nokuno. So this is a new grade 2 Nokuno. Just like all of the other glitter units, they gave her another form. So, continuous, if you put a cannonball from the order zone into your drop zone, which you will do for Michu's ability, it gets plus 10k. And then, if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you can counterblast Soul Blast 1, and this unit gets, when it attacks, if no drive checks were performed for the battle that your rear guard attacked this turn, this unit performs drive checks until end of that battle.
Yo, that's cool.
That is
Yeah.
cool.
So, now, the original Nokuno, let me see if I can find it, yeah, is a column swap with your grade 3 Vanguard, which means, like, you get a restanding Vanguard. You now have a drive check on rear guard, so you have, like, 4 drives total, and 4 attacks, and you're gonna probably, like, this is gonna get 10k on its own, so it's at least, like, a 20/30k beater. And then, like, one of the cannonballs is to give 3 of your units 10k, so you can just, like, further boost this. The only thing is that the cannonballs themselves, I believe, draw you cards. Let me double check. Yeah, because, like, Sneeze of Fireworks, when it's put into the order zone, draw a card. I believe Flower Cannonball is the same. So it's like, you draw a shitload of cards early on when you're, like, playing all your cannonballs and throughout all of the, like, 4 drive checks that you're doing. Plus, like, searching out the cannonballs and the Nokunos, you're probably going to deck out. Like, that is the complaint I was seeing on Twitter for other people talking about Michu, was that you're probably going to deck out. And then, you weren't here for this, Matt, but I've always just said that, like, Michu is the deck that everyone insists is good, but, like, it hasn't put up that many results. Like, it has never impressed me every time I've seen it played.
Alright.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Michu is weird. It's just a deck that, like I said, like, everyone tells me that it's good, and then every time I personally experience them, like, are we sure this is it? because the deck list you're posting is like 9 orders and then like the 2 Nokunos and the grade 1 that like searches the new Michu. And I'm just like,
upsetting.
yeah, I don't know. It's just every time I look at it, it just doesn't look like a deck that I want
This
to be
set
playing.
has 11 grade 3s in it. Jesus.
Yeah.
It's a little
Anyways,
crunchy. This one, I have notes for this one. Go ahead.
yeah.
Scroll down so Matt can read it.
Yeah.
Oh, when this unit is placed on the rear, you may soul charge 1. Then cost counterblast 1 and draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
That's what? Okay, that's bizarre. All right.
Oh,
So you soul charge 1, and then you can
counterblast 1 to draw an additional card. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's just the then is like really confusing to me.
yeah.
When this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater unit, if you have a card in your soul with the same name as your Vanguard, this unit gets power plus 5,000.
Drink.
This is a triple R?
They could have put this in literally any nation.
This is a common, right? Right? Right?
It's a triple R.
Hmm.
They could have put this exact card, same effect, all across the board in any nation, and it would have worked out. Tell me I'm wrong.
This is the least inspired card I've seen yet.
Oh, yeah. It is boring. It is straightforward. It's good, but it's boring.
Yeah. Anyways, this is like Hazoret support.
Yep.
Don't mistake the fact that this is a generic triple R. It's actually Hazoret support.
Fine.
I'm sure people will see my vision eventually. I mean, I've been posting my deck list, so you
Yeah.
know what my vision is, but yeah.
At
this is
Nexus at
Hazoret
Night or
support.
at Plasma Eclipse on Twitter. Anyway,
I don't post Vanguard stuff on my personal Twitter. I don't think I've posted on my personal Twitter in a while.
okay, well, follow him anyway. He draws cool stuff. Okay, what color is your wish? Valshablan.
Oh, that's a reprint.
Oh, cool. Skipping that then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's just the cycler card. They're reprinting it.
Okay, that's always good. Cherish Starlight Rishelto.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Grade 2, 10k. When this card is discarded from hand by your card's ability during your turn, if you have a Vanguard with Letitia, in its card name, Energy Blast 3, draw it. And then in drop, when you play a Curse Play order during your turn, Counterblast 1, call this to rear, and it gets 5k.
I mean, this is just another thing that you can like early game with, right? Like you can
Yeah.
just discard it for your ride line, and then you're gonna play the curse play that like calls something from your soul, and then this can just like pop itself out.
Yeah. No, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, which I think they already had cards that do that. I vaguely recall that happening to me. I don't know. I lost that game. I wasn't. All I remember is that they had like 50k columns, and I lost.
Tragic.
Yeah. Anyways, I need to pause to give my sister her medication.
Okay.
He's all the knowledge.
He has all the knowledge. The next one has like such a ridiculous picture. Like Ripper will pull it up when he gets back, but
All right. Right now we have this infinite.
yeah. Like pull up a photogenic finder turn and look at it for me in the meantime, because the TEURN, but her, I can't tell if that's a super long arm or if that's her leg or somebody else's leg. Like, what am I looking at? Can you tell?
No.
Have you ever seen the SNL sketch where it's like the Lawrence Welk show? And then you have what's her name? Kristen. Fuck. Kristen Wiig. as like this character with like a really large forehead, and she has these long, spindly arms with baby hands on the end of them. That's what it looks like to me. Is Dunice?
Oh my god.
Yeah, with my by myself. Yeah, because I just can't tell whose limbs these are. I assume they're her arms, but just they're so long. Or I guess that's a coat, right? And it's like tied around her waist or something.
Maybe.
While you were gone, we were making fun of the picture of a photogenic finder Tyrion. I can't tell if like she's got really long baby hands on really long arms or what, but
they kind of like just disappear into her coat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you think that's someone's feet, maybe? Or, because it's not her legs. Her legs are visible. Anyway, whose turn was it again?
Should be mine.
Okay, go for it.
All right, there's some reprints in there.
Yeah. Photogenic Fighter Terun. So this is the Kyoka support. If you play the magazine order this turn, it gets power plus 5,000. And then if you play the magazine order, you can Energy Blast 2, put it into Soul. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose a unit card with a different name from this unit, and call it to Rearguard Circle, or choose a magazine order, put it into your hand. I don't really like this card, to be honest. Like, I feel like it's not...
chasing cars. Anyway.
Like... This doesn't really fill a niche that the deck needs, because the thing is, like, the act ability only works if you already played a magazine order, but the thing is, like, the grade 3 magazine already builds you a board, and then the grade 1 magazine needs you to already have a board to, like, function. So, like, if you only have the grade 1 magazine, then that assumes that you already had a good enough board that you would be comfortable playing it. So you don't need to, like, cycle it for a new card. And then, like I said, the grade 3 one already makes you a board, and then you still have, like, the Kyoka search and whatever is in your hand. Like, this doesn't fill a niche. And now that the new Kyoka Energy Blasts, in addition to being able to Soul Blast, you don't even need the Soul as much.
Okay.
Yeah, like I was testing it, and then, like, I had one game, and I was like, wait, I don't need to use this, like, at all. There's, like, no reason to. And then, so yeah, like, I don't really like this card.
Fair enough. She likes to crack nuts. Let's move on. Is Rosa's not a reprint, right?
No.
No. Okay.
Matt?
All right, so next one we have is Prism Image Rosa, which is a retrain of a retrain of a retrain. Is this 3 or 4 of them? I don't know. Anyway, when it's placed on rear, you can choose a grade 3 with Vert in its card name from your hand. You may reveal it. If you reveal the card, and you have a grade 3 or have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Vert in its card name, it gets 5,000, and you can counterblast 1 to draw a card. They're just doing this on everything now.
Okay.
And then when its attack hits, if you have a grade 3 greater Vanguard with Vert in its name, you countercharge 1 and then bounce it.
I don't know how I feel about that.
This card isn't that good.
Yeah. I don't know. You know me, I don't like on-hit effects very
Are
much.
This is an on-hit effect in 2024. That's cool.
Yeah. I don't know. This could have just been like, I don't know, because Vert already Soul Blasts. Yeah, I don't know. Like, this card is not that impressive. Annoying that it's locked to Vert. I already went on this rant when we read Vert herself, but, like, why the hell do we have 2 different Prism archetypes?
Reasons, I guess.
Like, I'm so annoyed. Like, the problem with Labrador is just that she's really fucking boring, right? Like, she can only call Prism named units, and there's only 2 of them. Or originally there were only 2 of them. So, like, you just ended up with, like, the same 3 cards, because there was, like, a double R grade 2. That, like, on play searches a Prism, and then at the end of battle, if you have a Labrador, then you can just, like, bounce it back to your hand. So every turn is just, like, you call the 2 Prism names that you had, and that grade 2, over and over and over again, and it was the most boring thing in existence. And like now we have a bunch of new Prism names, but they're just like vanillas with Labrador. So the deck is going to continue to be the most boring thing in existence. Can you tell I'm upset?
Yes. Well, luckily, the next one is another Sky Judge, which we already saw. Moving on.
Yeah, we already read this one, so moving on.
Yeah.
So all the Sky Judges are misprints or reprints? Sorry.
No, like,
no, he just kind of covered them at once.
Oh, I
yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, because that just made the most sense to me.
Cool. So I guess I'm on Trails in the Summer Sky. Xenon?
Not familiar with this Trails game.
Apparently, she's a girl of the 21st century.
Sure.
Grade 2, when this is placed on rear from hand, if you have a Vanguard with Hazoret, choose a critical from your drop and you may put it on bottom of deck. Act on rear once per turn. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Hazoret, counterblast 1, search your deck for up to one grade 2 card with power 9k or less, and it's different card name from this unit, or up to one grade 1 card with 7k or less, call it a rear shuffle, and she gets plus 5k till end of turn.
This is a custom card.
Yes. Grade 2 with 8k, that's quite good.
Yeah.
Just search anything. Cool.
Yeah. Search anything except for itself, but also, like, you get to just put a critical trigger back in your deck.
Yep.
For, like, no reason.
Down on the bottom. And you're going to shuffle because you have to look anyway.
Yeah. Like, this is just a custom card. Like, I don't really know what else to say about it. And like I mentioned earlier with Hazoret, the cheese strat is that you play, like, Yuika, so that when you bounce it back to your hand, like, the Hazoret effect is not a cost, so you get to just, like, draw anyways. And putting to the bottom of the deck is optional, because you just do as much as you can. So what you do is you play Yuika, bounce back the front row, you still get to draw a card. And so with this, it's just, like, every turn, you can, like, bounce it back to your hand, then recycle a crit.
I hate everything.
There's a reason why I'm coping on Hazoret right now.
Okay.
I think this card is insane.
Okay. Next one is a Medial card.
Yeah. Mystical Light Look Luna. So, when it's placed on Rearguard Circle, if you have a Vanguard with Medial in its card name, Counterblast 1, Energy Blast 3, look at the top 7 cards, choose 2 normal units without Sentinel, reveal them, add 1 to your hand, discard the rest. So this helps you set up your drop zone for your Medial effects. Pretty high costed, though. Counterblast 1 and Energy Blast 3.
If you're going to do that, let me keep the Sentinel.
Mm-hmm.
But no. Couldn't do it. Cool.
Yeah.
Go
this is fine.
Yep.
We could have put power plus 5,000 on this, to be honest.
True.
They could have. Definitely.
This is the overtrigger.
Yep. Onward.
Yeah.
I think we're into the double R's now, right?
Dear Lord, This is a huge set.
I know. This is nuts.
Because it's the same size as a regular set, but it's all lyrical.
It just kind of feels like this forever continuance. Mm-hmm. I forgot how to words. Go ahead, Matt.
Alrighty, so we have this grade 3 here. When your rear guard is returned to hand during your main phase, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you can put this unit in soul, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets all of your front row rear guards this turn, get placed this turn, get power plus 5,000. Until turn.
That's a double R?
Yep.
This is like technically Labrador support, but it's not a Prism name, so let's move on.
This is a common card they would have printed in G-Era.
Yes.
Oh, probably,
definitely.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it would have been. Cool. Diva of Sea Chant Burmal. Grade 2, 10k. When placed on rear, choose a grade 3 card with Pacifica in its card name from your drop, and you may put it on bottom. If you put a card Energy Blast 3 and draw, auto on rear, when this unit attacks, choose one of your units, and you may have it get plus 5k until end of turn. If you do, and at the end of the battle, put this unit on bottom of deck.
This card is fine. Like, it lets you recycle your Pacifica. It draws you a card not costing a counterblast. You need to use energy for something. And then, like, opening a circle so that you can call it off of the new Pacifica. Because this one has to call to open rearguard circles. So, like, this card is fine.
Okay.
It is a competent Pacifica support. Anyways, give me energy and premium, damn it.
They really should, to be honest. I'm very kind of bummed out that they haven't yet. Move on.
Okay. Diva of Resonating Stars, Lieutenant Teal. Anyways, this is Coral support, so I believe this is the one I was talking about that recycles. Yeah, when it's placed on Rearguard Circle, you can counterblast one, choose a card with Coral and its name from your drop zone, put it in your hand.
There it is.
And then
Okay.
if your soul has 4 or more cards with Coral, this unit gets power and shield plus 5,000, active on both turns.
Okay.
So yeah, this is the one where it's like, you probably just play this with Yuika, and also the reason why you don't really need the where I found that I didn't need the triple R is like, okay, you put Yuika in the deck, and then you just like bounce this card and keep cycling your corals every turn. Because like the Yuika Soul Blast to bounce something back, so you just Soul Blast the coral that you want. Then next turn, you play this, Counter Blast, put that coral in your hand, and then immediately put it into your soul with the grade 3 coral.
Okay. This next one, it's not a girl. I was very surprised.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, it's little dragon.
Yeah.
I know, it's
All
cute.
right, so here we got Appreciation Dragon Pristro. Is that the name? Pristro? All right.
Pristro,
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So when this card is discarded from your hand during your turn, if your Vanguard is grade 2 or greater, you can Soul Blast 1 and call it to rear. If it's your battle phase, this unit cannot attack until end of turn. But it can, well, I guess it can do nothing.
If your
And if your Vanguard is returned to hand this turn, this unit gains boost. Hey,
yeah.
So it can do something.
So remember in set 3 when there was just a bunch of generic double R's that all did this?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is that for Lyrical.
Oh, fun. So
Incredible.
That's why it's a dragon and not a girl. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Partita Decorating the Moon Aloysia. These names are getting... I feel like they're getting less and less sensical. Grade 2, 10k. When this unit is placed on rear, if you have a Vanguard with Felty Rosa and its card name, choose a card with Felty Rosa in its card name from drop, and you may put it into your soul. So that's free and good. Auto on rear when this unit attacks. This unit gets plus 5k until end of battle. At the end of the battle, choose a card with Felty Rosa and its card name from your soul, and you may put it into hand. If you put a card, retire this unit.
This card is fine. Like, Felty Rosa's thing is that it's Gold Paladin, but only for ghost cards. Yeah. So this, like, gets itself off of the field so that you can call things with Felty Rosa. And then I think the new Felty Rosa needs, like, a Felty Rosa in Soul to give your front row 10k. So this just, like, activates that.
Okay.
So yeah, this is a card that just does all of the things that Felty Rosa wants. It's fine.
Cool.
Okay. Dazzling Twin Stars enhance Aster. So when it's placed on Rearguard Circle, you can bounce an opponent's Rearguard, and then you can Soul Blast a card with Sayana in its card name or a trigger unit. It gets 5k for each open Rearguard Circle. Our front row open circle, so it gets 10 in total, probably. And then when your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Sayana in its card name attacks, if your opponent has no front row rear guards, you can counterblast 1 to stand it. Oh, good. Sayana finally has some way to, like, win the game. So if you don't remember, Sayana was the one where it's like, you can put a trigger from hand to soul to give it 15k, and then if you didn't put anything on the guard circle, then your opponent can either, like, discard a card or bind the rear guard that attacked.
Yes.
So yeah, like, Sayana's problem was always, like, winning the game. So,
right.
Look, here's a way to win the game.
Aces.
Right. Next up, Top Idol Aqua.
Did this card already get printed in this?
No, surprisingly, they did not print any of the old Bermuda Triangle cards in the, like, previous encounter cards.
I'm stunned.
This is you, Matt.
Oh, sorry. When this unit is rode upon by a grade 3 mermaid, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 grade 2 or greater unit from among them, reveal it, and put it in your hand, and then shuffle your deck.
This is a double R?
Yeah, it's a ride deck card that's a double R. Look, we need the nostalgia value.
I guess so. I mean, this used to be a 10k vanilla back in the day, but...
Yep. And she still has the creepy webbed hands.
Yep. The creepy webbed hands will always give me anxiety, especially that one, the V one.
Well, what about this one?
Yeah, still pretty bad. I think the V1 is the worst though, because in the V1 she's doing it at the camera. This one she's like doing it up here, which isn't so bad.
But yeah, they're just like reprinting all the old nostalgia cards. They also have Sedna, which is a double R, so we'll get to it later.
Son of a bitch. Okay, all
Why
right.
is that a double R? Okay.
I don't know. The Lit Light is Warm Pliage is a grade 2 with 10k. When placed on rear from hand, if you have if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Levrexur in its card name, Energy Blast 3, I tried my best, okay? I choose a card from your soul, call it to rear, and then after that you can cost Soul Blast 1, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets 5k till end of turn.
Yeah. So Sharpo, because I'm just gonna use the grade 3's name, her thing is always just like soul charging a bunch, because I think you have to Soul Blast for a bunch of your effects anyways, and then she like copies her power onto all of the cards with the archetype name. So this just gives you power and uses up some energy that you don't normally use. This card is fine.
Okay.
Lined up at the Night Sky Ravana. We should go faster. Friends, it's just a friend effect. I'm not bothering with that. When it's placed on Rearguard Circle, Energy Blast 3, choose a card with the friend ability and a different card name from this from your drop zone, put it into your hand. Good. The problem with Friends is that you need to have a full board to get anything done. So you are immediately susceptible to anything that removes cards from your board. This gets you cards back that have been removed from the board.
Seems good.
Cool.
All right. Now you, Matt.
What is visible beyond peaking Lestis? So auto, when this is placed on rear, other than during your battle phase, if you have a Vanguard with a Lorone roll in its card name, and a song card was put in your order zone this turn, Energy Blast 3, look at top 5, choose up to one from among with a different card name from this unit, and grade less than or equal to your Vanguard, call it to rear, and shuffle your deck. During your turn, if your order zone has 2 or more face down cards, it gets power plus 1,000.
This card is fine.
Yep.
It's a big beater, calls something to the board. Good effect. Also uses up energy.
Cool. Is it what is visible beyond P? Nope, that was the one you just did. Never mind.
Yep.
Delivering the Stars, Tamia. That's what I'm looking for. When placed on rear, grade 2, 10k. When placed on rear, choose a trick or treat from your drop, and you may put it into Soul. And then auto on rear when this unit attacks. If your drop is 5 or more trick or treat, counterblast 1, draw a card, gets plus 10k till end of turn.
Yeah, so
Good, I think.
This is the Fennec deck that plays like 16 of the same order. So this one already like gives you a lot of advantage. Fennel, that's what it was, because I think doesn't Fennel give something a crit, or she gains a crit? Oh, she gives the thing a crit too. So yeah, this is just like Zorga, but in lyrical. So yeah, this card is fine. It gets really big.
Okay.
Because all your front row get 2k for each trick and treat, and you're probably going to have at least like 3 by the time. Oh yeah, you're definitely going to have it because you can play 3 every turn as long as they're trick and treat, and you can have up to like 16 of trick and treat.
Cool. Yep. I can't believe how many of these we have left.
Yes. This is your punishment for skipping out on us last week.
I hate you so much.
See, Matt only has to deal with half of these. Wishing upon the water surface, Larico. So, Soul Blast 1 gets 5k until end of turn. Powerful. So if you have nothing in your soul. Counter Blast 1, Energy Blast 3, draw a card and gets 10k. Cool.
Okay.
I have no comment on the powerful deck. I don't play it. I don't really know anyone that does play it. Okay, I do know someone that plays it, but like they can talk about it.
Kind of reminds me of Infernity in that way. Like you really need good stuff if you're gonna do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Is this one me again?
Yeah, the Ernest
cool.
Correct.
Ernest Correct follower Riadetta. So 8k, grade 1, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Continuous on rear. If you played aim to be the strongest idol this turn, your opponent cannot intercept. And in back row rear, when your opponent's attack hits, you stand. When your Vanguard's attack hits, you stand this unit.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
Clarissa is like not a good deck anymore. She had her like 5 minutes of fame, and then like every other time, she's just kind of been okay. Like her gimmick is the order lets you attack all of the things.
Yeah.
Like this card I don't even know if this card is that good. Like, stopping your opponent from intercepting means that they can, like, they don't have to, like, intercept with cards that you were going to attack anyways, but, like, whatever.
Yeah. Clarissa explained it all. Great. Singular Heart Lyrica, 8K, grade 1. When this unit... Auto on rear. When this unit boosts, if you have a Vanguard with Coral, choose a card with Coral and its card name from your drop, and you may put it into Soul. At the end of the battle, if your Soul has 4 or more cards with Coral, and you did not countercharge this turn, retire this unit and countercharge.
This card is good. It's countercharging.
Yay for countercharging.
And you can get it back, right? Or no,
Yeah.
you can't get this one back.
You can't get this one back. You can only recycle the corals, which is,
My
like,
fault.
fine.
I thought this card had Coral in the name for a second. My bad.
Nope. Yeah, and then Coral gives your power, your front row power, so you're not, like, always missing the booster. Like, just having a little bit of countercharging is nice. It gives you some leeway to, like, spam some abilities.
Okay.
Sparkling Summer, Tum Helen.
What a name.
So at the end of the battle, this attacked or boosted. You can Soul Blast an Astasis card and return it to your hand. Sure.
This seems awful.
Moving on. We already did the Judge Maiden earlier, so I'm just going to skip that.
Cool.
All right, so surrounded by flowers, leap heart.
Mm-hmm.
So if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3, it's a grade 1 8K. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, and you play a gem order this turn, it gets power plus 5,000. I don't know why it has the opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater for that one, but that's all right. At the end of turn, if you have a Vanguard with Willist in its card name, you can Energy Blast 1 and retire this unit. Choose a grade 3 with Willist in its card name or gem from your drop and put it in hand.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
I've
I have
had
not
Ballista
kept up-
jammed on me before. It's pretty. That seems pretty good.
Yeah, like, Ballista was always, like, a decently strong deck. Like, it can make 5 attacks with the new gem order. And, like, you do need to, like, cycle Willistas for one of the effects, if I remember correctly, for, like, the dress-up Willista. So, like, being able to recycle... No, what it was is that the order made you, like, Soul Blast a Willista, I think.
Yeah. So now you can get it back.
Yeah.
The second
So,
effect
like-
is quite nice, but the first effect, I just don't know why it cares that your opponent's grade 3.
They just put that curse text on everything.
Yeah. They're very concerned with something being bannable instead of just banning things that
All
end
right,
up
somebody
being a
read this
problem.
other Prism card.
All right. Prism Image Clear. Sorry, Ripbeer. Auto when this unit is placed on rear, you can discard a card, search your deck, or drop for up to 1 grade 3 card with Vert. Reveal, put it in your hand and shuffle. If you search your deck, shuffle, sorry. Continuous on rear during your turn. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Vert, this gets plus 5k. So it's just more for Sonorite searching. Seems good.
Yeah. See, this one does not need your opponent to be grade 3. You just have to be grade 3.
Yep. Just get your Sonorite for next turn.
Yeah, but, like, obviously Vert's thing is that she, like, double rides, so this just lets you recycle your Verts.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Yeah. Mermaid Idol Sedna. So this is the vanilla 8k grade 1 originally, but now 8k is just normal for grade 1. Anyways, when it's rode upon by Aqua, you can Soul Blast 1, look at the top 7 cards, choose a grade 2 or greater unit from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle. Like, this
That's not
card's fun.
miserable.
Yeah, it's like a generic-ish ride line. You know, Aqua needs to be rode upon by Mermaid specifically, but that is, like, every encounter card, plus, like, Chris Rain and Astasis, I think. So this actually still goes into, like, a ton of decks for no reason.
That's funny.
Yeah. And it is actually kind of similar to the V Sedna, because the V Sedna was the grade 3 searcher.
Oh, yeah, huh?
Yeah. Like, I appreciate that they're just giving us all of the, like, old vanilla ride line cards again. I don't know why they didn't do this the first time around, but at least they got
would
around
think.
to it this time.
I
You
like
would
the
think.
idea of generic ride lines that you can jam with whatever
Yeah.
you want to.
All right. Enjoy the Dream Tolteri. So when it's placed on rear, you can counterblast 1, look at top 5, choose up to 1 order without Regalis piece from among them, reveal it and put it in your hand, and shuffle your deck. If you do not reveal, countercharge 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Mhm.
believe this was the, like, generic double R cards from, like, set 2, but I will just go and check really quickly because it's not that hard to
Okay.
find double R grade 1s. No, the ones from the set 2 work different. No, because set 2 has Lyrical in it, so Lyrical already has one of those. This is just like a different generic double R.
Interesting.
What's the top 5? It's searching for one, but you
Yeah.
don't have to discard.
Yeah,
It's fine.
that's right. I forgot that Lyrical was in a main set for a second. We've been doing this for like over an hour.
This is probably playable in some, I don't know,
Mhm.
at low copies. But you have to be
Yeah.
playing like enough orders for it to be like.
You'd put this into like an order deck specifically, right? And then if
Yeah.
it whiffs,
Yeah,
it
and
just
then
like refunds
you need
itself.
to have it needs to be in an order deck with like 2 extra spots.
Mm-hmm.
And I just
Yeah, where
don't
you're
know
like-
how many decks that is.
Yeah.
Don't know what to tell you. Songs or cannonballs or something. Anyway, Little Meteor or Dial. Grade 1 8K. When discarded from hand during your turn, if you have Vanguard with less steel, look at top card, put it on top or bottom. White Wings. Continuous on guard circle. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with less steel, this gets plus 10k shield.
I don't know shit about Celestial. I'm not even gonna try for this one.
I do like the sound of plus 10k shield, but also, you know.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there is a way to finagle it to get both wings active. I just remember when playing against it at locals that wasn't the most consistent thing in the world. We have Little Me. Oh, we just read that.
Just
one.
did that, yeah.
Aura is a reprint. And then
Good.
we have Welcome to the Star Festival. Counterblast 1. Choose 3 grade 0 cards from drop, put it in your soul. If you put 3 critical triggers, draw a card.
What?
So this is Almagestar support that they put into Lyrical Monasterio for some reason.
Okay,
Incredible.
cool.
I don't... Yeah, no, this was like a random theme among like a few of the generic cards in this set, is that they like soul charge grade 0s, but like none of the decks care about that. So this is just like Almagestar support that got lost on its way to Dark States.
Fine. Cool.
I think
It's
incredible
over.
they would just print this in Lyrical. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Normally
well,
I'd asked which nation won or lost, but we all lost being here today. I hope you all know that.
I am here to enjoy your suffering.
Eat me. So yeah, what archetype are you excited about playing or whatever? Leave a comment below, leave a like at Nexus at Night in all the places. If you want to help the show out or get bonus content, patreon.com/Nexus at Night, at Nexus at Night on all the places. How about the rest of us?
You can find me on Twitter at Wiggins, 2Gs, 2Zs.
You can find me at Plasma Eclipse.
You can find me slowly losing my hair at Atlas Novak in all of the social media places.
See my bald spot with this camera?
I more mean the stress that was caused to me from this episode.
Yeah, but every time you mention it, I'm going to bring up the fact that I'm also going bald.
Sure. Which is also a Rush song, believe it or not. So yeah, at Atlas Novak and all the places. My other podcast, at Generation Dan. New episodes every Friday. My other podcast, Last Minute History on Generation Dan's YouTube channel every other Monday. This last Monday we had Queen Fee come on in place of me because I was on a train and there was no internet. They talked about pirates. So check that out if you feel like it. Thanks everybody for listening. And thanks Darren, Cole, Josh, Jeremy, GR, Ollie, and Tony, our $10 patrons. Until next time, I was Atlas.
I'm Matt.
I'm Root Beer.
And have a good night.